Hello, Jim Hodges here, Ari here. Ari's approximately 1-year-old puppy that's come in for our residency program. Very sweet girl, very happy, very excitable dog. She gets really distracted by the cats, by the birds, by the squirrels, by anything. She is just raring to go all the time. I actually have 3 cats around me today, so we're going to get to test that theory of her being distractible. What do we need to do when we have a dog that gets so excited and so happy? We try to get the focus on us using our tone of voice, using treats, using changing direction, varying speeds, keeping her moving, even with hand signals, okay? So I'm going to take a few minutes right now. I'm going to go through the basic commands for you to use as a guide as you go forward. Listen to my tone of voice, watch what I do. Remember that if she gets distracted and mess up, I'm going to do what I need to do is provide that consequence, which is and touch, okay? When she's good, I'm going to praise her. I'm going to praise her physically. I'm going to praise her verbally. I might even praise her with a treat, okay? But she's not working for treats. She's working for us. You ready? How about you, sweetie? You ready? All right, let's go. So she was even watching the cat den. That didn't stop me from telling her what she needed to do. She's going to walk by our side. I'm not going to have her pull us. I'm not going to have her run over there for a cat. If she started that way, I would tap the leash back towards me and tell her, no, let's go. If she started walking in front of me, I would tap the leash back and tell her, no, let's go. And then I would praise her once she got back to being beside me. How can we help that? We help that by keeping our left hand close and the leash loose, if you can see that, okay? Keep it by our side. Sit. Good girl. Let's go. So we start moving again. Really important to keep her focused. So if you're out in public, there's a lot going on, changing directions can help her pay attention, because if she's not paying attention, I would tap the leash and tell her, no, let's go. I'm trying to tap the leash, but she'll hardly let me do it because she wants to stay right by me. Isn't that right, sweetheart? So I can praise her while I'm moving just as easily. So that's let's go. If I have to tap the leash, I tap it parallel to the ground in the direction I want her to go. Next comes the SIT. Sit. Good girl. Sit command is very important. We want her to listen. We want her to sit. We want her to hold it until we release her. With her, sometimes we have to modify our praise, especially when she's excited. We still want to praise her, but maybe not quite as much. Other times you're going to praise her and she's going to break the command. If she does that, what are you going to do? No, sit. We're going to tap her right back into the sit correction. And how we do that, we take the leash, tap straight up above her head, tell her no, sit, and then we come back and provide a little bit of praise. You can see how loving and sweet she is. She really is a good girl. How do we release? Break. One of the things I like to do when I break is step back so that they come to me. I'm doing that for a number of reasons. One is to help with the recall off leash. 2 is to let her feel good about when she's done her job that we release her and she wants to commit to me. Cat running by right here chasing a squirrel or something. All right, so here goes the test. Let's go. Good girl. I'm proud of you. So hand signal like that for sit. So sit, down. Hand signal from the side for down, just like that. She must lay down. She can stay there as long as we want her to, but quite honestly, if we wanted her for more than a minute or 2, I would put the stay. Now I can tell her to stay. She can smell the ground. She can lay on her side. She can chew an antler. She has to stay there. It's sort of like just being tuned out of us and not having to pay attention to the next command. When I was ready to get started, if I didn't have her focus, I might call her by name. All right, let's go. Good girl. So to recap, here we go for the DOWN again. Sit. Down. Good girl. Down means down. I'm proud of you. Sit. Come on back up. Good girl. So that's the down from the side. If she did not down or if she popped up, I would tap the leash and go, no, down. So many people want to pull out like in the let's go, and they pull. We tap the leash. We're not trying to hurt her. In fact, you've tested the collar on you. We're trying to redirect her and show her. And when we tap, We are not pulling, we're not doing the work for her. She's having to think about what we want, okay? So let's go. Turn back around, looks like the sun's coming in. Sit. Now DOW from in front. Down. Good girl. Same thing, she has to down. She has to hold the down until I release her, okay? Hand signal for down from in front is like this, from the side is like this. When we're in front and she doesn't down, still that same tapping motion. Break. That's my release. See how I stepped away and she came in? Let's go, sweetheart. Next command, place. Good girl. You notice as soon as her forefoot went on, I praised her. Again, there's a lot of cats running around, squirrels. You may see them on the camera. I definitely hear them in my background behind me. But she's got to hold it. As she did the other day, she can stay here forever. Seriously, she can do this place now for a couple of hours with no problems, with the other dogs running around, with you moving, you doing whatever you need to do. Now, if she doesn't place, or if she gets off of the place, what we would do is get the leash and go get her. No, 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 place. Good girl. Remember, whenever we do bite the leash, we provide that redirect, if you will. We always praise her after the no. And the most important thing in the world is when we tap this leash, tell her no. The reason we're tapping the leash and saying no is so that no means something again. In so many people's lives, their dogs start off listening to no, but there's no action. And at some point in time, it goes in one ear and out the other. See, she's really checking things out right now, but she's done real well so far. There may be a chance that she messes up. Now just say that she does mess up, okay, on one of the commands. What am I going to do? Not going to get mad. I'm going to be prepared for her to mess up so I can immediately redirect her, tell her no, repeat the command, and then provide like praise. And then normally when a dog messes up a command, I try to do it at least 2 times in a row correctly so that we get back on the right path so she knows what we want. And we're positive at the same time. You ready, sweetheart? Let's go. Good girl. So another way that we can compete with that is sit. Good girl. Notice when I gave her the treat, I gave her the treat with my open palm, and as I gave it to her, I praised her and pet her. I want treats to equal touch equals words, okay? When I'm teaching her a command, I may lead her, bribe her, but once we're working and I'm expecting her to obey, I do not provide a treat unless she does what I want. I call it manna from heaven. I may pull the treat out from behind me, out of my bag, or have it in my hand. When she does it, I immediately praise her, touch her, and give her the treat. But I try not to do it this way, okay? Because now she's working for the treat. I will do this when I'm teaching a new trick or a command. Great, let's go. And I'll also use treats an awful lot, hold on, for the recall. So you see she started to smell the ground, I tap the leash, okay? But I don't want her smelling the ground when we're walking. When she's a dog, that's okay. All right? Good girl, good girl. Easy with the smelling, good girl. Break, let's go. Sit, good. Next command, the heel command. That's where we have a box beside us. It's our job to keep her in the box. Her job is to stay in the box. When I stop, she sits automatically. Open palm, heel, step out. See how she came right back in. We stop, she sits, good girl. I can step off, I can do whatever I want. She stays right there in the heel. Again, heel. I'll turn around the other way. Real tight turns. Still when I stop, she sits. Good girl. Break. Atta girl. Good girl. So the next thing is the come command. And very curiously, I don't know, we've got one cat sprawled right out here in the camera. I don't know if she's on it, but she's probably 5 feet away from us. Another thing, you drop the treat on the ground, you pick it up. I do not want our dogs to pick up treats off the ground if we can help it. There are instances that we want that, but really not with obedience, okay? Because we don't want to teach our dogs to snarf around the ground to pick up stuff. You ready, sweetheart? Let's go. Come on in. Sit. Good. Next is the come command. She's in the sit. You saw me do the hand signal. Good girl. So the come command is for her to come and sit in front of us, okay? Both on leash and off leash, but we started all on leash. So hand signal, come. When she comes, she sit. We can give her a treat. Atta girl, pet her, break. If I did not break her, she has to stay in that sit. So if I started praising her for the come and I didn't break her, especially when we're doing on leash, I would have to bite her and tell her to no sit. Ready? One more time. Sit. Come. Good. Hold it. A little bit further distance. Come. Good girl. Break. So off leash is sort of like the same thing. The big thing is she's not on leash, and we would not tell her to come to begin with. What we would do is, if she's paying attention to the cat, I can sneak off from her here in a minute. She likes the treats. She's watching me dig for the treats now. But off leash, what we want her to do is be able to listen to us at a moment's notice, hear our words, and what we want to do is connect that come command with one of the most positive things you can do. It can be a treat, it can be a toy, whatever turns her on. But when she's out there running around or looking at the cat, I'm not going to tell her come immediately unless I have her on leash. I'm going to get her attention. I'm going to show the toy. I'm going to, no. She's not on command, but we don't have her actually doing anything, but she was smelling the ground. That's why I bit her just then, okay? So what we want to do is get her attention, get her focus. When she sees the toy, sees you, sees the tree, starts running to us, that's when we tell her to come. Good girl. All right, hey, right here, come. Whoops. So you notice she started coming, and as she started really getting determined, that's when I told her to come. Break. Pretend like that was off leash, and that's how we would have addressed it. No, let's go. Meow. Good, sit. Down. Good girl. Break. Let's go. So hopefully that makes sense. You know, if you need me, you pick up the phone and give me a call. 336-945-3232. Ari's a good girl. She's going to grow and mature to be an even better girl, okay? Yes, she gets excited. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? We want to redirect and become more of a focus, if we can, than the cats. Sometimes that'll work, sometimes it won't. But we continue to build with good things for her. When she's laying around or she's standing here and looking at us, especially when there are distractions about, we want to praise her big time. That's another time we could bring a treat out for her. JimHodgesDogTraining.com on Facebook, Jim Hodges Dog Training. Thank you so much. Call me if you need me. Take care. Break.